Monday. We got a lot going on today. We have the beginning of the Gorsuch, Judge Gorsuch, who has been nominated for the Supreme Court for his hearings. Not much will happen today. I think he makes his opening comment, and there have been some opening statements, and then we'll get into it really as Tuesday hits. And then, of course, right now, which is the hot stuff, was the House Investigative Committee on Russia and the questions being presented to FBI Director Comey, I believe Admiral Rogers, and what's come out of it has been, pretty hard. There is an investigation of the Trump administration to see if there was any collusion in the election. And well, though I don't really think there was. I think there's something to do with Michael Flynn. We'll get into that later. Absent that, the investigation is necessary. It must be done. We have to find out, because if something was done, it's got to come out. Russia did get involved in our election. Russia's always trying to be involved. Russia thinks they can do whatever they want, and we got to get it out there. It's got to be obvious. It's got to be real obvious. We got to find out and let that investigation move forward. I trust Director Comey, and I think he'll do a fine job, and the FBI will do a fine job, and they'll come out with an answer. And we'll just go with it. I'm not that much of a cynic. I think he's a good politician. That's why he's more open than other FBI directors. But I think he's a pretty good FBI director. He knows what he's doing, and he's going for it. And let's find out. Michael Flynn came up in the questioning, and he should. This is a guy who took a lot of money from Turkey, didn't tell anybody, took a lot of money from Russia, and he was going to be the number one intelligence guy for President Trump. Now, that really makes President Trump look bad that the vetting couldn't get passed with this guy. But the more they talk about him, I think, and I have no idea otherwise, an opinion, but just listening to a guy who is going to be thought he's a big time guy, probably as you look at him, he's got this ego, just the way he walks, he thinks he's the man. He's taking money from from these different countries, and then I wouldn't have been the least bit surprised if he was the one who said to Russia, "Hey, I'm going to work. We're going to get those sanctions taken off of you after Donald Trump is elected, or if he's elected, and don't worry about it." And I wouldn't be surprised, and we may find that out. But who knows? This is just a guy who was playing both sides, taking money and trying to be really involved in the foreign policy, but getting paid by countries that are foreign. I mean, Turkey and Russia, come on. So he looks really horrible in this, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one who kind of gets hung by his feet. But the other problem is, you look at this and you go, all these other congressmen, all the important stuff's come out, and all the other congressmen are just sitting there talking. I mean, they ask questions about Ukraine. Is Russia in charge? Sure they are. We all know they came in. They used the whatever they call them, the spooks, the black ops, whatever they call them. They came in. They moved into Crimea. They took it. They say it's theirs. It's their land bridge. That's where they're going to be putting their fleet, and that's the ball game, and it's over. The only question is, they're going to come farther into Ukraine, and their people blew up the plane overhead with the passenger jet, and we know Russia's doing all this other stuff. There's just, be quiet, will you guys? I mean, these congressmen, guys, gender neutral, these guys, they just talk. I know you need a video for your reelection. You get reelected every 2 years. You're only a year away. It's almost unfair for House representatives, House members, but end it. Ask a couple questions, get on with it. It's just over. We now know the big stuff. Now we got to see what happens. Tomorrow, the real action starts with with Judge Gorsuch, and we're going to see, do the Democrats resist, or do they just kind of work it, and then you see some votes coming in, and some Democratic votes to push it over 60? Are they going to filibuster? And is this the place you take a stand? Or do you bet that there's going to be another opening and then you got to take your stand there? So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. It isn't that going to be that much today. It's a little bit of opening salvo. But keep an eye on this intelligence stuff with an FBI investigation into the Trump administration. Who knows what can come out of that? Like I said, I don't think much of anything, but who knows? And I'm happy it's happening. Peace.